Very good morning to all of you. This is Imran Khan. Class, we have already discussed introduction to computers, parts of computers, then computer fundamental. Now we have types of computers. Unit 2, fundamental of computers. Suppose consider a situation where you want to buy a television. There are many brands and models available in the market. You need to make a decision based on the features that you want and the price of the product. Class, similarly, there are different types of personal computers available in the market. They differ on the basis of features such as price, size, and speed. In addition, these factors affect the overall performance of the computer. After you buy a television, you need to choose from different kinds of channels that are available. These channels may offer entertainment, sports, or news. You can choose to view a channel based on your preference. In the same way, after you start using a computer, there are different types of programs available that help you perform different tasks. You can use a word processor to create documents or spreadsheets to perform mathematical calculations. Communication programs can help you talk to people at distant locations. With entertainment programs, you can watch movies, listen to music, or play games. Now, class, you have relevant knowledge of types of computers. Different types of computers are available in the market today. You know, the most common computer is the personal computer. We can say PC. Typically used by individuals and small businesses, a personal computer is a computer that is designed for use by one person at a time. A personal computer is used in the workplace to create documents, manage business records, and communicate with others. It is used in schools to teach lessons, research over the internet, and work assignments. You can also use a personal computer to play games, view videos, and listen to music. Depending on the size and the purpose of a personal computer, it can be categorized into four different types: desktop, laptop, handheld, or tablet. Now you select a computer depending on the task that you want it to perform. For example, if you want to use the computer to edit photos or play complex games, you need a computer with a fast CPU and good display adapter. Now class, we will discuss type of computers. First is desktop computers. Its feature is desktop computers are made up of individual components such as a monitor, a keyboard, a system unit, and a printer. Desktop computers are not portable and are generally placed on the surface of a desk or a table. The components of desktop computers can easily be replaced or upgraded. Desktop computers usually have more memory, a large hard drive, more parts, and a bigger display than laptops and the portable computers. Second is laptop computers. Laptop computers are lightweight personal computers. Laptop computers are smaller in size as compared to a desktop computer and are designed for travel. Laptop computers are also called notebooks. The main feature of laptop computers is that they are small and portable. As the name suggests, these can easily be placed on the lap of a user. Desktop computers run on electricity only, while laptop computers run on electricity or on batteries that can be recharged. However, laptop computers consume more power than desktop computers with a similar hardware setup. Third is handheld computers. Handheld computers are devices used for specific everyday tasks such as managing personal data. These are smaller than laptops and provide fewer features compared to desktop computers or laptops. These can also perform basic word processing activities and help you access the internet. You can also send and receive email message by using handheld computers. Several handheld computer models can also work as cellular phones or digital cameras. Then last one is tablet computers. Tablet computers are fully functional computers that allow you to write directly on the screen by using a tablet pen. You can also use the tablet pen to perform mouse functions. Tablet computers therefore do not need a keyboard and a mouse. Class new topic is role of memory. You know very well what is memory. When a computer performs a task, it stores data in the memory. The data that is stored in the memory is internally represented in the form of zeros and ones. Each zero, each zero or one is called a bit. A combination of 8 bits is called a byte. Now class we will discuss explains the various terms used to measure storage or memory capacity. First term is bit and its description is a bit is the smallest unit of information that a computer handles. A single bit can hold only one or two values, 0 or 1. One of the two values is always present. A single bit conveys little meaningful information. However, you can obtain more meaningful information by combining consecutive bits into large units. Second term is byte. A byte is a combination of 8 bits arranged in a particular sequence. Each sequence represents a single character, symbol, digit, or letter. A byte forms the basic unit that is used to measure the storage capacity of a storage device. Third is kilobyte. 1 kilobyte or KB is equal to 1024 bytes. Most of the user data stored in a computer, such as simple email message or a text file, occupies storage space of a few kilobytes. Fourth is megabyte. 1 megabyte MB is equal to 1024 KB. The amount of information contained in 1 MB is approximately equal to a complete textbook. Fifth is gigabyte. 1 gigabyte GB is equal to 1024 MB, which is approximately a billion bytes. Most computers today have a hard disk with large capacities that are measured in gigabytes. A gigabyte denotes a huge storage capacity. For example, a video film stored on a computer can occupy more than 1 GB of space. Last is terabyte. 1 terabyte TB is equal to 1024 GB, approximately a trillion bytes. Storage devices having capacities in terabytes are generally used by organizations that need to store large volumes of data. A terabyte is so large that a few terabytes of memory space can contain the complete text of a large number of books. Class is the only memory inside your codes, but I have shown a lot of memory on the screen so you can see. So class, next topic is computer performance. We can say whether you use your computer for business or for personal use, it is important that your computer perform efficiently. However, performance does not depend on a single factor. We have a table list some of the important factors that affect the overall performance of the computer. Now, first factor is CPU speed, and its description is the CPU is the brain of the computer, and its speed is an important factor that affects the overall performance of the computer. The CPU speed is the rate at which the CPU can perform a task such as moving data to and from RAM or performing a numerical calculation. If you have two computers that are identical except for the CPU speed, the computer with the faster CPU completes a task more quickly. Second factor is hard disk factors. Hard disks differ in storage capacities as well as their speed of data storage and retrieval. If the speed of data retrieval is fast, the computer takes less time to start and to load programs. Additionally, the speed and size of the hard disk play an important role when a program needs to process large volumes of data. Third is RAM. The speed of retrieving data stored on RAM is very fast, and for this reason, the computer uses it to store the information that is currently in use. If the amount of RAM is large enough to hold all of the information in use, this can result in faster computer performance. The RAM, the random access memory speed, and the amount of RAM are important factors in personal computer performance. When there is not enough RAM in a computer, the computer slows down or fails to function properly. Now, next topic is productivity programs. You can use different computer programs to perform a variety of tasks. You can use computer programs to organize numbers, writing letters or proposals, maintain records, create and modify images, convert text into visuals, and create magazines and browsers. We have a table list the different types of programs and describes their uses. The first program is word processing and publishing programs, and its description is you use word processing programs to create and modify text-based documents. You can type in and modify text, use the spelling checker, format the document. By using these programs, you can also create a personal and professional documents. We can say Microsoft Office, जिसे आप MS Word कहते हैं. MS Word is a commonly used word processing program. Publishing programs are used to combine text and graphics to create documents such as browsers, greeting cards, annual reports, books, or magazines. These programs also include word processing and graphics features that allow you to refine parts of the document. Second program is presentation programs. You use presentation programs to present your information in the form of slides. You can add sound and pictures to the slides to make them more attractive and informative. Microsoft Office PowerPoint is a commonly used presentation program. Third program is spreadsheet programs. You use spreadsheet programs to create budgets, manage accounts, perform mathematical calculations, and convert numerical data into charts and graphs. Spreadsheet store information in a table with value spread over horizontal rows and vertical columns. Each value is stored in a cell. A cell is the intersection of a row and a column. Microsoft Office MS Excel is an example of spreadsheet program. Fourth program is database programs. You use database programs to store and manage data in an organized way. By using these programs, you can also sort or search for the information stored in a database. In addition, you can create simple reports from the data that you have stored. For example, you can use a database program to store customer details, create and manage inventory, and track sales. You can then create reports to target sales or plan customer services. An example of database program is Microsoft Office Access. The last is graphics programs. You use graphics programs to create and edit drawings. You can also use these programs to enhance photographs. The Paint program is an example of a graphics program that allows you to create drawings. Then in this chapter, last topic is communication programs. Just as you use a telephone or postal mail to communicate with friends and family, you can also use computers to communicate with people. Computers use special programs called communication programs that allow you to send and receive messages with other people in a digital format. Now class, in communication program we have email, means electronic mail. Sending email messages is the exchange of messages from one computer user to another computer user. This exchange can be within a local area or from one part of a country to another. You can send an email message to or receive an email message from one or several persons at any time of the day. To send an email message, you must have an internet connection and email account. The internet connection is provided by an internet service provider ISP. You can use several programs such as Windows Mail to create an email account. If you have an email account, you will be similar to username @example.com, where the username is your name, The at the rate of is the at sign, and example.com is the domain name, means network. A domain name identifies the name and the type of organization with whom you have an email account. After you have an email account, you need to know the email account of the person to whom you want to send an email. You can send both text and pictures through email. However, this depends on various factors such as the type of service you have or the kind of picture you are sending. Sending and receiving email messages is an instant way of communicating with anyone. It only takes a few seconds to send or receive an email. This also depends on the speed of your internet connection. Then class, in communication program, the last is chat. Another type of communication is through chat programs, which allows you to send and receive messages immediately. You can use a chat program to communicate with several people at the same time. A commonly used communication program is Windows Live Messenger, Facebook Messenger, WhatsApp, etc. When you are chatting with someone, the person on the other end receives your messages immediately. Through chat, you can also talk to the person you are chatting with. This is called voice chat. Another form of chatting allows you to also see the person you are talking to. You use a device called a webcam to do this.